Hello, everybody, and welcome into the last show of the year. What a year it has been, I gotta tell you. You know, Oklahoma is an unusual state in that we really are made up of just a lot of little pockets of people. Small towns. Small Town USA exists right here in Oklahoma. And if you don't believe me, take a look at the map. We got Oklahoma City and we got Tulsa. Now we're in the Christmas season. And a lot of things are going on across Small Town USA. And the beauty of it is, as you go from town to town to town, you see it. We're going to be talking about some of that today. But I encourage you, between now and Christmas, get out, make a short drive, take a little time, take the family, put them in the car, and target a couple of small towns. Go out and see how they celebrate, how they decorate, how they get ready for Christmas. And I got to tell you, it warms the heart to see what the folks of Oklahoma come up with. And we're gonna be talking about some of that today. Our first guest is Meggie Froman-Knight. Meggie is the Claremore Economic Development Authority Director. Meggie, good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us today.
Oh, tickled to death to have you.
Yes.
A little bit about your job. What do you do?
Well, we are responsible for recruiting businesses to come to Claremore, but more importantly, once they come to Claremore, making sure they stay here and provide great services and products and quality jobs for our citizens.
And which is a very strong necessity.
Absolutely.
Absolutely it is. You have a chance to interact with both the movers and the shakers and the folks who live here, don't you?
Right. Absolutely. Well, and our team is also made up of people who live here, and I think sometimes people might forget that.
Well, it's a curious thing. Was I right about my assessment of Oklahoma being a small town state?
Absolutely. We are very fortunate to be made up, especially in Rogers County. There's a lot of unique assets, all the way from Catoosa to Chelsea and over to Oologah.
Our schools, God love the teachers. They don't get enough credit. The teachers never get enough credit anywhere you go, but especially in Oklahoma. They just never get a pat on the back the way they should. So consider this a pat on the back. The kids in our schools are so blessed because they have an opportunity to see education two ways. One, the way it was when folks my age were their age, and two, the introduction to artificial intelligence, computers, all these things. And you have a chance to see that firsthand, don't you?
Absolutely. So Claremore and Rogers County are fortunate that it's got a lot of investment in healthcare and manufacturing. And really all of that makes up the major employers of our community. But not unlike Oklahoma having those major metros with smaller towns, we're then backfilled with a beautiful downtown that's got amazing restaurants and stores and opportunities for our citizens to really enjoy.
You know, we're going to get to Claremore in just a minute, but recently I drove through Jenks, and Jenks does something that I haven't seen since I was a wee lad running around the hills of Arkansas. But they run their Christmas lights across the street.
They do. They're beautiful.
And it's so cool because you're driving along thinking, who does that?
Right.
We do it in small town Oklahoma.
We do.
We see it everywhere. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here in Claremore.
Absolutely.
You're on the front lines. Tell us about the decoration setup.
So Claremore's been fortunate that in 2022, it's had 7 new businesses come to downtown. So we always have beautiful decorations and things downtown.
Did you say 70?
7.
Oh, 7.
Seven, yes.
Whoa, the heart went flip.
I can imagine, yes. But, even with just 7 new businesses, the excitement grows even more from there. And so whether you're interested in, maybe trying the new pizza shop downtown or throwing axes with family and friends, go out and enjoy the Claremore Lake lights. Claremore Lake is lit up with a beautiful, you can drive through or walk through, whatever your preference is. So nightly the lights are lit up, and take your family. If your friends are coming back for the holidays to visit, they can go there. You can drive just down the road to our friends in Catoosa, visit the Blue Well. It's beautiful and fun and lit up. And then you can circle on back around. If you're on a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Oologah also has the 12-day of lake lights as well. So a lot of opportunity to enjoy. There's something unique about the Christmas lights reflecting off that beautiful paths of water there. So it's really a unique opportunity to see Christmas lights in a different way.
You know, somebody said the other day that it wouldn't surprise them to see some of the cattle farmers here decorate a cow or two, for Christmas.
Well, there are some alligators that are lit up out there. So you can see the Christmas light alligators out by the lake lights. So alligators and whales. We have not quite cows, but animals abound.
What about Will Rogers' old homestead? Is it lit up?
They are doing Will Rogers Christmas celebrations there. And then also at Shepherd's Cross, which is just north of Claremore, they're doing celebrations there as well. So a lot of different, whether you want a little more of a rural farming
Sure.
experience, all the way through to do your traditional drive-through if it's just you and your family.
Now, to tie some of this together, Claremore shares almost lockstep, if you will, the way they light up, the way they decorate, the way they celebrate, and the way they approach Christmas as other small towns in Oklahoma, don't they?
Right. Absolutely. So you see a lot of those, the wreaths hanging with the lights and
Yeah.
candles and things of that sort. And really, a number of our merchants are doing sales for the 12 days of Christmas as well. And so it's a great opportunity if you're looking for that unique gift and you're supporting your neighbor. You're supporting those that, choose that as a passion and are making a business. And so it's a little bit different opportunity to engage during the holiday time than you might get otherwise.
Well, on a business note, I know this is an unfair question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Have you had a chance to assess the business flow in Claremore this year compared to last?
So we have not yet looked at that. We'll get those. Those typically run about a quarter behind. But we do know throughout 2022, we are seeing quite a bit of an increase in the sales tax collections that are coming in within the city of Claremore. So we anticipate even, typically 2022 summer's slower. And so that the fall season's typically higher. So we would anticipate that those trends would still remain up for
And
this
those tax revenues are important, aren't they?
Absolutely. So Oklahoma is one of the only states left in the United States whose cities are funded by sales tax dollars. And so that's really critical so that we have police and fire,
Sure.
somebody to pick up your trash. Those are those fun things we don't always think about, but that are really important. So even buying that, that unique coffee or tea or unique present downtown goes that much further into your experience.
What's intriguing, and I don't understand the mentality of commerce, so I'm just going to throw this out. What's intriguing to me is the attitude of merchants here. And I see it in Tulsa too. Folks are just giddy that you're in the shop.
Yes.
What triggers it?
Yeah, so you have to think day in and day out, that's their passion. They put all in.
Yeah.
And so they are the marketing person, they are the salesperson, they're the payroll person. And so literally every dollar you spend in there makes a large difference. Unlike maybe compared to a national corporation, you may have thousands of people. That makes up that one person. So it's that personal smile, the personal connection. And sometimes they can often help you and go, I know just what you need.
Yeah.
And because they get to know you, it's that relationship. So it really, truly makes a difference when we invest in those that are investing in our community.
I have to tell you, the clerks that I most admire are the ones that say, well, now, how tall is your wife? Oh, about like this.
Yes.
And how much does she weigh? Oh, she's a little thing, So
Yes.
that's the kind of merchant I'll go by and see.
There you go. They'll keep you out of trouble that way.
Listen, I want to thank you for taking time to come in and visit. And any kind of plug you want to get in, now's the time.
Yeah, so we just encourage people as they're going through the holiday season. There's, as I mentioned, lights in Claremore, Catoosa, and Oologah. And so if friends and family are coming to visit, feel free to drive through all of those and maybe stop through at a local restaurant or business and support those that are supporting us.
And I might advise them to take a camera because the folks back in Indianapolis aren't going to believe what goes on in Oklahoma.
That's right. It is a special place. Well, Rogers told us that, so we're going to celebrate it.
We got to believe it. Hey, thank you, Meggie, for being here. Appreciate you more than you know.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more right after this.